Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of OafDiscussions. I am your host, Webb, Mr. Webb, Thoroughbred Webb, however Webb you know me as. And with me today, Mr. LL Cool Beat 22, Liquid Soul himself, Mr. Brent. How are you today?
Yo, I like this. This got a different feel about it. Okay, I got all the names coming out on this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to fill up as much as I'm trying to filibuster as much as I can. So. Yeah, we got it's a light day today. It's gonna be a light day this episode. So as some of y'all may already be aware, we are doing this episode. It's kind of a day late. You're not gonna catch the video version due to it being late pretty much. He pretty much calls himself Kid Swift on there. So I was about to sit there and put his government out there. You already know it, but
government out there, like he does us like that all the time. No, put his government out there.
Oh well, mine. Yeah, well, my government can double as a nickname or a code name anyway, so I'm cool. Yeah. I'm good on my end.
He got me out here sounding like I'm the whitest black guy in podcasting right now. Nah, man.
I'm probably competing with you on that one.
Yeah, tell him. Look, when he listens to this, kick rocks, blow bubbles.
God damn. In that order?
Kick rocks, blow bubbles.
Kick rocks, blow bubbles. In that order. All right. Yeah. Well, he'll pick that up when he hears this. And we're doing this episode a little bit late due to the Easter holiday season, or holiday weekend to be specific. Easter being on April Fool's Day, so I'm pretty sure for a brief moment, worshipers and atheists got together, and then it didn't work out the way they intended it. Piece that together how you want. Yeah,
that'd been hilarious. Like, finally they set up the meetup. They were like, "Yo, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna have a combo, and I want to hear everybody's sides, and we're gonna come away better people at the end." And then it was like, April Fool's.
Yeah, the whole time they were talking, atheists were sitting there going. But no, corny jokes aside, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm actually really good. Like, weekend's been let's just say I got my energy back. I'm back. I'm T'Challa after he was given
the heart-shaped herb.
The herb. After he got thrown off the mountain, like I'm back. You know what I'm saying? If these podcast hands have to happen, let's do this now. But
damn, who you taking shots at?
Everything's good, huh?
I said, who you taking shots at? Podcast hands? What you mean?
No. See, I ain't even taking no shots. I ain't listened to. I've actually listened to a couple podcasts, but no shots is needed. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
No shots is needed this time. But weekend was smooth. Linked up with some people. You ever get out and run into, like, you go to one of the crews, some of the friends, like, they got a birthday out and whatnot. You show up and you realize, I think they waited to do more shots until I got there.
Oh, so you the true turn up then?
Nah, I don't think I need to be that. Like,
no, you were the ringer as far as inebriation goes. So like they was like, no, we're not getting drunk until Brent gets here, and then we were really getting fucked up.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm that person. There's definitely other people who are who have the pockets to be that ringleader, and also they're more boisterous than me. Like they're more as soon as they smell liquor, they turn into a different, like, they turn up another level.
like the Hulk or Dr. Jekyll or some
Dr. Jekyll, that'd be perfect. Like, yeah. They turn into Dr. Jekyll. Like, they do the transform, everything. So Yeah, everything's smooth around here, man. Everything's smooth. How about yourself? Like, how's things going over your way?
I am chilling, man. So for some reason, I decided to sit there and try to get more knowledge, as Ty Lopez would say. And I decided to, for the first time in, probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I finally decided to go back to the library and get a library card.
Oh.
And
feel weird?
Was a little bit. It's funny sitting there going there. I was like, oh, things have changed up a little bit. There's practically nobody here, and I found out why. Is that apparently you can actually borrow books online?
Yes. Oh, I got an app for you. After we get off here, I'll have an app for you. I got to check some messages, but had a talk to some other podcast people. You know, they hit me up on game that there's this like one site that you can basically like rent books across America.
Yeah.
Online, like.
Does it
like
start with an O?
Like you just download them for like so many days and.
Does it start with an O?
The hell out. Huh?
Does it start with an O? Because I think I might
confirm nor deny this moment.
Oh, so this is. Oh, this ain't.
I can't remember the name because it's in a text message.
Oh, this is similar to like Pirate Bay or something. So this ain't on the up and up.
No, this is on the up and up. This is on the up and up.
Okay.
This is on the up and up.
I think.
You want something before, it don't. I can get you that too. But,
yeah. It's like
I gotta go through some favorites and a favorite bookmark somewhere else. Like gotta fall through the trap door.
Speaking of bootlegs, is Pirate Bay still a thing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, yes, but like, I think you just basically downloading albums now.
Ah, okay.
Napster went legit, like Frostwire.
I ain't
Kind of
familiar.
like Frostwire and Pirate Bay. I think they're kind of like, they still out there. You can still catch a virus, but you can still catch a virus, but
no risk, no reward.
Yeah, Now, when you finish, I did something just pop up in my head with the no risk, no reward. So I got something for that happened over the week.
Cool. More content is appreciated. So I ended up borrowing ebooks and audiobooks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I got for free was a whack ass story. I'm mad I finished it. I won't put them out there like that, just so I don't come across like a sponsor or nothing like that. But I'm also messing with the 4-hour work week. I'm almost finished with that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of it, was good.
Oh, right. I finished season 2 of the Telltale Batman series.
Yes.
And you can tell with this last episode that they put their heart into it. They were really having fun making the Joker either be the villain or the vigilante, depending on the choices that you made from the previous 4 episodes.
Nice.
And so
I should go pick that up.
If you haven't, I'd recommend it. Yeah, I didn't mess with the first season. I've actually just watched people do it, and I've seen different outcomes for either choices that were made. And I was like, all right, well, I'm caught up, so let me just go ahead and get season 2. Plus, I didn't have the PlayStation 4 at the time, so there's that.
Okay, that's what's up. I've seen some good reviews on it. So I'm leery. I'm always leery about like watching the videos, and I don't know why I'm leery.
Yeah.
Because like I can do spoilers like when I go searching for them. Like certain things you can't tell me a spoiler.
Right.
If you do, my world's not going to end. But I'm gonna give you a salty look for a few moments, like just a few. And then we'll move on. But I need to start doing more of those because
save you a little money.
I would experience some games that I would never play that way because I'm not like certain games. It's just I'm gonna check out. But they have storylines that like end up being like really good, like some of scary games like Outlast. What the hell was that one where they were? It was like you was in a movie as QuickTime. You was in like a forest.
There's quite a few of those as QuickTime now, so.
Yeah, you're right. Where's Shane at?
You said it's like a scary movie,
but like a story in that.
Oh, you talking about Until Dawn?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I didn't buy it. I watched 2 different people play it. One making good decisions, the other making bad decisions, and I really enjoyed it, even though I didn't have anything to do with it. It was really just one of those things like, even whether you were playing it or not, you were still going to have a good time. Because one is like, if you're playing it, it's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? But at the same time, if you're just like a spectator just watching it, it's almost like a movie, except you kind of have, or except obviously it's going to pause a little bit for the player to make choices. So it was enjoyable as far as somebody that was watching it, and I'm sure, and obviously the people that were playing it, they had a good time just playing it. So
on that one, I think, and I may be wrong, but I think if like I set it up, like we could set that up, and almost like I could set up a broadcast, and you could vote on the decisions I make. Like you could set it up in a mode like that where people watching streaming can vote on what decisions you make. I have it. If you ever want to play it, I'll just share it to you, and you could just take control of it. I think you get like an hour or 2 hours at a time. And you could just run through your own story of it if you want.
Huh. Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Let me know how that goes. Wait a minute, you supposed to play yourself?
Well, send the invitation or whatever you're supposed to do to get that set up. So I ain't as savvy as I used to be with video games, man. I'm kind of mad. I feel washed.
Nah, man, we still out here in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just too many hats now. That's all it is. Like you can't focus on one thing. Like
fair enough.
Everybody's PC when I'm like all into video game like systems.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant PC like
politically correct.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, what the hell's that got to do with video games? But yeah.
Well, we gotta we fight racism on video games, man.
Yeah, Far Cry 5. Oh, speaking of.
Oh.
Have you had a chance to mess with it?
Yeah. I'm maybe 10 hours in, like nothing like wow crazy, but my feelings as of today, I've had it for about a week, I think. No, I've had it for about less than a week. My feelings on it is I like the story, it being a cult, like okay, so the premise of the story, for some of those that have never seen Far Cry 5, if you can, go ahead and Google Far Cry 5 as we're talking right now, so that way you can hear it and read it and follow along. But basically, you're a deputy who's going in, like, you basically got assigned, I don't know if you're like fresh day deputy or whatever, but you get assigned to go with the marshal and somebody else to go bring in a cult leader. Basically, cult leaders being charged for kidnapping people and, like, killing folks. Probably some other stuff too, and some illegal substance being given to people. Kind of reminds me of like crocodile. But you get into this world, and this dude's just like, think of any preacher. He's not even like super charismatic. He's like almost like religiously scary in that kind of lane, like a fanatic, like so devout that they're like, the man whispers to you, he's like, you won't take me alive. He's like, you won't take me. The man above won't let you take me. And then you got him handcuffed, throw him in there, whatever. And then all this stuff happens, and let's say a car crashes or a plane crashes. I'm muddying up the situation so that way if you do play it, like, you can see it for yourself, right? And it's so eerie that he's like, his followers are cult-like, and you don't really get that many, like, representation of cults, besides, like, you get Family Guy, which is like, all right, everybody, let's go into this room at 12 o'clock, we'll drink the punch. You get that, and then you get, like, if everybody jumps off a bridge, would you do it? Like, you get those kind of, like, extremes. Because they're not going in, like, terroristic type, like, vibe, but this would be, like, grounds for terrorism, I guess.
Kind of like Jim Jones in Jonestown, in a sense. Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. Or depending if you let certain people say it, Scientology.
Yeah, there we go. That works. Or people, at one point were saying Jehovah's Witness.
Yo, you know what that just reminded me of?
What?
There was this show on Viceland. I'm sure we've talked about this before. There was a show on Viceland. It didn't last very long, where it was like a bunch of volunteers went to some damn jungle to set up a new church or a new city or something like that based on their leader. And there was a documentary crew that went to watch them do it. And it was kind of like, it was weird. It was kind of like a Survivor. It was almost like Survivor, but it wasn't a game show. It was just, they were out in the woods and fighting over each other or fighting amongst each other due to lack of food and losing faith and all this other stuff. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was very, very similar to Jonestown. And I was in there going like, okay, so does the season finale, everybody just engage in the fruit punch? Or what's like...
Pretty much. So, yeah, so that's actually probably a good reference as well. And, you know, story's still playing out, so I'll see if everybody does engage in the fruit punch, this and that. But basically, the premise is because this, he might as well just be called a prophet. Basically, they have been waiting for this one, basically, like, apocalyptic moment. Like we're basically saying, like, the rapture is here, right? Mm-hmm. What you don't realize is you basically triggered that. What they were looking for. Like, I was waiting on this certain moment that was prophesied, and you basically coming to take the prophet away basically was the sign.
So kind of like,
now they go, huh?
I was about to say, so kind of like any Far Cry game, basically, where your protagonist just happens to be the person that everyone was looking for in the series or in the or in that particular game. And
no, okay, so yes, but no. So yes to the part that you basically kicked off destiny in a sense, like you're the destined one, right?
Yeah. Yes,
in that sense, but no, because it doesn't actually, like, it wasn't about you. It was about, like, oh, they were gonna come and take the leader away, and the sky was gonna rain bodies or whatever. Like, that was like the moment that they were waiting on.
It's just coincidence.
Yeah, and coincidence was, like, you go to kidnap the person, you came in there by helicopter, and then they go flying in the air, and they start doing, like, I Am Legend, throwing their bodies on the propellers.
Yeah.
And made the plane crash, which rained bodies. And he said he would, you know, the Lord wouldn't let him be arrested or taken away. And he survives the crash, like that was like the thing.
Spoiling the first 15 minutes, ain't you?
Huh?
Spoiling the first 15 minutes, ain't you?
Hey, I mean, that's my elaborate thought of it. But you would have to play the game yourself to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, that kicks off everything, and basically everything goes on lockdown. Like, they cut basically signals. Like, basically they starting like a new Garden of Eden, and they're purifying everything. So the game is real enough that you, like, it doesn't seem far-fetched, but
it's still a game.
Scary as well. Like, it's not far-fetched. Like, these forests could have people who live cult lives, you know, in your state, or, you know, our state, or any listener state. Like, this could be a thing. Like, so, yeah, that's part of the guide. So you got your random shoot 'em up, blah blah blah, but you can go and save people. Me and G was playing together, and we basically was wrecking shop a couple times. But after you wreck shop too many times, they send a hit squad after you.
Oh, okay.
And you get kidnapped.
Oh, so almost like a...
Like, you got to escape from being kidnapped and stuff like that. So the game has a few ways of, like, knocking you down a peg. Like, nah, you're not going to just, like, steamroll the whole game, blitzkrieg the whole game.
Okay, so, like, the kidnappers coming after you, that's kind of like, I hate to compare a sandbox game to another sandbox game, but, like, it would be kind of similar to Grand Theft Auto's wanted levels, to where as far as how much you wild out determines how much it's going to bite you in the ass.
Yes, but this one, I don't think you can drop your wanted levels. Like, they're just going to keep coming, and they shoot you with this, like, trank stuff. Like, once you start getting hit, like, it almost seems like your person's drunk. You can't move as fast. Your vision starts to get blurry. Sounds start to get distorted. it lasts for a period of time, but like after you hit even if you just get nicked, almost like The Walking Dead, spoiler alert, like getting hit with the bullet that wait, you watch Walking Dead?
Not anymore, no.
Oh, okay, now I'm spoiling this. They use the like guts of the
walkers to cover the scent.
Walkers, to cover the bullets. And
that's old.
It gives you basically the effects of like basically being cut or bit, like lightweight bit by a walker. Now,
yeah.
I'm gonna cycle back one time and then we just go on to the next topic. So this week, I had a conversation with my grandmother. One of the most random conversations I've ever had in my life with my grandmother. And, shouts out to grandmother. Anybody in the family that hears this conversation, I love her. Now.
But she drives me. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna do that. Well, she got on me because apparently I give people a look. You'll ask me something, I'll give people a look. The catch was with that is, if you ask me something once, I say, yes, I'm doing it, or I'm in the mix of doing it, and you come and ask me again, I typically won't say anything, but I'll probably give you a look like, you see I'm doing this right now. Like, why are you telling me a second time while I'm in the act of doing it? Right?
Sounds like a peeve I got.
Huh?
Sounds like a peeve I got.
Okay.
So I can relate.
But like, this stems from the housewarming until now. Like, it's still carrying over. So what happens is, like, people ask me something like the second and third time, and if I clearly was like, yo, I got this. Like, I got you. I'm working on it. Like, you don't have to ask me again. So I typically give a person a look because, one, I'm like, why are you telling me this again? I'm thinking it in my head. But the second thing, I'm listening to you because, like, I'm still going to be respectful. Like, hey, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, hand up to my grandmother, like, talk to the hand. That ain't going to happen. I'll probably die.
Get them fingers broken, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably would die. Like, here lies the man who thought he was grown. would read my tombstone. Who thought he was grown.
But I'm in my 30s now. What you doing? It's like, nah, you thought you were grown. You thought.
These shells gonna give you 30. Like, so that was a whole thing. So she got on me on that and was like, basically like, oh, when you get married, wait till you give the look to your wife to be, cause she ain't gonna deal with it. Okay. So that was one thing. Then the conversation went into, I was explaining podcasts, right?
Okay.
I'll make this quick. I'm looking at the time, so all right. Then we was talking about podcasts. Now, I thought my grandmother knew what podcasting was. She used to listen to talk radio and NPR. And to me, I would say those are your beginnings of podcasts. Like kind of how podcasts evolved from would be NPR and talk radio.
Right.
We used to listen to people drone on for hours in the backseat of this car, and like with them, and I was like, "That's podcasting." Like that was like your earliest version of podcasting. Like just now, we're not attached.
Everyone
to
has a station
or a higher radio or distribution place. Like we're our own thing. We're our
own radio station, pretty much.
Our own radio station that we create all the content. Every time I think of Jet Set Radio, that's every time I want to say that to her, but I'm like, she wouldn't know what Jet Set Radio is. But, so I was explaining that, and then in the middle of me talking about like setting up, guests, stuff like that, she was like, and another thing, don't you be sending nudes? I was like, wait, what? She was like, don't be sending nudes or pictures of your genitalia. Your work will see it. I was like, what? What are we doing here?
Did she access a folder that she wasn't supposed to?
I got no nudes or anything out there that I have any knowledge about. Like now, if there's something out there, I didn't have knowledge about it, and somebody called me.
You might be able to sue. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but she ain't got the internet, so I know she ain't seen nothing like that. So she gave me a whole lecture about like.
Damn, I tried to make a subpoena joke, but I couldn't get it.
I was like, one, I don't do that. But she was like, your generation does it. I was like, Well, first off, all generations do it. Second off, anybody that uses a technology or like has a camera and internet, they're able to send this. Like, this is men and women. Like, this isn't just like 30 and under or 35 to 25 crew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember I'm probably saying way more than I probably should have, but you remember them Facebook freak groups?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. I was a member of a few of them. And there was some older folks. No, we're gonna move on. There were some older folks. There were some older folks in the groups, and there was one that she might have been in her 40s, or she may be in her 50s now, I think.
Priming out, okay. She's
Yeah.
in primes, okay.
So she decided to sit there and put a cooter on Facebook, but she didn't realize that she didn't put it in the group. She put this out in public.
Oh.
And
shouts out to everybody that's seen that.
And hit like. There was a bunch of people that hit like on it, and then she sit there and just it probably took a while for her to realize it too. And I was sitting, I was sitting there on my timeline. I was like, wait, no, this ain't. I'm in my regular timeline, not like this, not the section over there, or like not the red light section of Facebook. And so here I am on my regular timeline scrolling up. It was like, oh, okay, kids. Hey, somebody's kids. Hey, somebody's getting ready for school. Oh, wow. Okay. It was and I already got I think I got 13, 14 likes before she pulled it. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. That was meant for my husband. As your husband on Facebook? And it was like, you could have just as easily, you could have,
took the picture and just got it printed.
Yeah, well, I mean, just let it slide. But I didn't bother to look at the comments section but that was hilarious, and that just reminded me. It's like, yeah, so I'm sure well, I can't say anything about your grandma, but there's no age limit as far as any kind of.
I don't think she's out here sending them pics.
I wasn't thinking of that either. But I'm saying,
that would be
just
scary. I would burn it all down.
As a rebuttal, I wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
And it just reminded me. It just had a little flashback, and it's wow, I was fucking wilding. Anyway.
You out here? No, you know what? Nope.
We're moving past. Like I said, we're gonna move past that.
Doing it.
We're gonna move past that.
No setups. Nope. So that was a whole conversation. In the middle of it. And then I'm vacuuming the floor now. I'm doing chores as she's doing these conversations with me. And then next day she was like, and make sure you protect yourself. I was like, wait, huh? Hands up at all times? What type of protect yourself are we talking?
Internet guns.
Keep strapped up, or never leave without a raincoat because it could rain at any moment. And she was definitely talking about
the raincoat.
Yeah, the raincoat.
Okay. All right. The raincoat's below your waist. I got you.
Yeah. So that was hilarious because I almost rebutted it and was like, you know what? I guess that's good advice at any time. If you're still in that type of world, or if that's what you're practicing.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So that happened. And I had to check my own grandmother for some rumors. It was just little stuff. It was a hilarious.
Now,
time.
baby, why's your dick out in these photos?
What are you doing? What are we doing here? I didn't know this conversation was about to happen. I'm gonna be afraid if I pull up and then she just has a bag of condoms somewhere. I'm gonna be like, hey, stop it. No, we're not doing this. No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They got me one time in high school.
Now, your auntie told me you was knocking boots the other day.
Just want to make sure you safe out here. Don't forget to double up.
That makes it worse.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trolling now. Yeah. So I got a whole conversation
so
about
stupid.
that, and then we even hit the trusting politicians and things like that.
Yeah, that's always a good talk to have with family.
Yeah, so we got into the conversation of we feel that teachers should protest, or Was it like how they getting away with passing laws on sewage bills? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Should I provide some context for the audience?
If you will.
All right then. All right. So first topic after
segue.
After 30 minutes. Yeah. First topic of the day. We have I didn't realize this was actually taking place elsewhere in other states like Oklahoma and Kansas, but in Kentucky, teachers have been pretty much protesting and, for lack of better words, going on strike due to some changes to public pension for teachers. And as a matter of fact, what it took place, like it just so happened that it took place on Friday, where a bunch of districts, as a matter of fact, 26 school districts, they had to close after literally hundreds of teachers called in sick once that pension bill has been passed, or pension reform, excuse me. And it just so happened that this week is also the spring break of a bunch of Kentucky schools, so that kind of worked out. So hey, I guess that's probably why other people are upset about the teachers, is that they just so happen to call off and get an extra day before spring break. But that's their opinion. But so that's neither here nor there. As a matter of fact, Friday and Monday, the teachers gathered in Frankfurt to kind of further protest, as far as kind of try to find a way to appeal that reform for pensions. And let's see, one of the first counties to do that was Fayette. So hey, so shots out and shots fired over at Louisville. What's it, Jefferson County? Is that what it is? That
we was out here, man.
He was out here, but y'all. Well, granted, I'll give you this. I'll give you this out. Since Jefferson County is the largest school district, or is the largest county as far as schools go in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Okay, then. So how many schools are out there?
I can look it up.
Oh well,
I don't have that number on me. Like
fair enough. Well, I mean, like, I figured it being such a large.
We just wasn't going in, man. We was like, some people gotta walk, some people gotta sit. Some people gotta sit.
Or kneel.
We sat out of going to classes and stuff. So.
Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, does this affect you any?
It doesn't affect me in my role, because I am. I mean, technically, I guess I'm considered like on par with like a manager, like supervisor, but like my teaching is different. Like I'm training, like basically I'm a trainer of a skill set.
Okay.
Okay. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to think of the right word, but
well, I mean, if you got smart ass students and they're trying to take passive aggressive shots at you, I figure that count is close enough to a teacher.
Yeah, you take out the shots, like you take the shots. But I'm not in the school, like I'm not employed through the school system in any way, our Jefferson County school system.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it affects me in a way because my mom's like a teacher assistant, but like. Yeah.
And Kid Swift's mom. Wait, did his mom retire, or is she still doing school? So yes. We each kind of have a connection.
She is retired, but she still helps out. Like she still works, I believe. Like helps out when she wants.
Okay.
So I think she's already retired. Like this is overtime for her. Like
Yeah. Oh, she didn't have to worry about that pension, I don't think. So yeah, so that kind of affects indirectly affects each of us, because I figured I thought you had a deeper connection as far as teaching goes, but I guess you kind of indirectly. It like
my cousin's a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Like I got teachers in the family, but me personally, this shouldn't hurt this won't affect my pockets on paper. It'll affect my pockets long term when people, like moms be like, hey, let me hold something. You know what I'm saying? But like not on my pension ain't being taken away.
Okay.
I ain't never had that wasn't. I'm not in that.
Okay, so you got family that's teachers. Well, kids, or Swift's mom's no longer. She's retired, so she just barely missed that boat.
Yeah.
My wife teaches, so she was one of the next. She was actually not one of the first counties, I don't believe, but like she ended up getting that news on Thursday night, that it just wasn't happening. Everybody was calling in, so it's just like, well, it caught me by surprise because I sit there, woke up like, fuck you still doing here? It's like I'm trying to watch TV, get this coffee going. So are you messing up my rhythm as far as getting ready for work?
You're normally gone right now. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
You were playing. I didn't know she teaches. I didn't know.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know much about
Elementary. Well, yeah. She's. I'll have her break the ice around you. Yeah.
Another time.
I'll have her out of your. She'll be out of her shell around you at some point, sooner or later.
Nah. I see her like once a year.
Damn. If that. Now that I think about it.
Anaya function. She's a godmother.
Yes, she is. Yeah. Damn, I straight up forgot about that.
I haven't forgot. The Don.
Well, I did. So, and I'm sitting there. I'm married to the godmother. How did I forget?
You know, this is an interesting. I've never heard of four people to look over one to have to look over one kiddo. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've heard
2 godmothers, 2 godfathers.
Well, I've heard 3 men and a baby, but I mean that's the closest I've heard of it. So.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. All right. But so I wanted to ask you because I was having this conversation with my grandmother and a couple other people in the family.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think? Okay. Do you think I'm gonna do a 2-part? Do you think that the protest was effective? And then 2, do you think there should be more protesting? If so, when and how long to be effective?
I consider it effective in the sense that it's getting people talking. It's getting a dialogue going, and I'm pretty sure it's pissing off some parents. So they're going to sit there and want this to be dealt with right quick in a hurry. Yeah. So there's that. Also, it wasn't the fact that it was funny how it's inspired by West Virginia, which was one of the lowest paid teachers or something along them lines. I can't remember. I don't fully remember what was going on with West Virginia.
Inspired by West Virginia, like they did something like this before.
Yes.
Chicago.
No, West Virginia.
Last year.
Oh, you might be onto something. I forgot about that. But as far as this year goes, West Virginia was doing something for and they were protesting for at least a full month from what I remember. And so it took them a whole damn month for them to resolve.
Oh, goodness.
So, and luckily we got it out since it's spring break for most of those counties. So we'll, I don't know who sees what's we'll see what happens by the end of this week. So.
Okay. So did they protest? Did they have school today?
No, all of the schools have actually they're either out on spring break or they have closed, and not so much solidarity, but in the fact that no one is able to fill in. Yeah. Okay.
So my thoughts on it was, I think it was effective. I think it was effective in the same way that it brought like people at least showed that they had power, took their power and was a show of force. Hey, you can't keep getting away with passing underhand, these things on stuff that doesn't even deal with. They put it on on the back of a sewage thing. It was so. That was so dumb. And then people need to pay attention to all of the documents, the people who are in those rooms, being our voting power, stuff like that. They need to make sure they're doing a thorough job. Why ain't you reading all 90 pages? No, you don't need to be skipping nothing. I need you to break down everything, and then where there's red flags, take issue with that. So I think because of it was the day before spring break, I was really hoping. I haven't checked to see if people went to school here. I think they're still on spring break, so when they come back, I don't think they should whatever the first day after spring break is officially for everybody. They need to be still boycotted, because this could easily get swept under the rug, and they'd be like, all right, we just gave them an extra day, yada yada yada. We not changing nothing. They need to still step on throats until this gets resolved. And I figured personally, a week here, a week would probably get the job done. Maybe 2, but a week is what I was thinking. 3 to 5 days, because after day 1, after the next, we'll call it fresh restart. Day 1, it'll be like, okay, we did this drill before. Day 2, people is gonna start hitting people's pockets. Day 3, people ain't got PTO. People can't find babysitters. People can't, take their kids to work no more. Like it's gonna start hitting people, and they're gonna have to put fire on people. Is this gonna get some backlash? I think our leaderships here. I don't want to call them our leadership, but the people in place as leadership here, they're gonna spin this and make it. Because they said, was it Matt Bevin? Didn't he say that when this got pushed through, he was like, the teachers are being selfish? Called it all like teachers being selfish.
Yeah.
They weren't, they're not down with losing their pension or their future savings.
Right.
Which they're having to put so much into, and you're basically like pulling the rug out and being like, well, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like that's BS to me. Like,
yeah, it's pretty interesting. Obviously Kentucky. I know Kentucky's a red state. Oklahoma and Kansas. I mean, I'm pretty sure that goes without saying, but am I right to guess that those are red states too?
I would guess so, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I should know these things, but today I'm just like,
nah. Well, it is. It's a full day later than what we normally do podcasts, so I understand that. And hell, actually, that's no excuse because we had an extra day to research.
Yeah, like
whoops.
You want me to check it out real quick?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm looking at the link that's talking about the pension, and right now, all I'm seeing is that based on the Herald Leader, it's not giving a full description of the bill, but basically is that it got passed like super quick. It's pretty much like a fucking hot and ready.
Yeah, basically it was a Little Caesar pizza. Like you walked in there.
As I see a Papa John's ad on this article.
You were like, no. They was like, well, you just take that, and you just walked out, and then you look at your pizza, and you're like, this was definitely not what I ordered. Like, this was kind of BS is in this. This was I ordered pepperoni, and you all gave me just pineapples. Like, that's what this bill basically was the equivalent of. I don't know if Little Caesar has pineapples, but today is, I think, free pizza day at Little Caesars. Or was it yesterday? Because 16 seed beat number 1 seed. I've seen it in a few places that Little Caesars was giving out free pizzas.
According to summary, the bill would place teachers hired after January 1st, 2019 in a hybrid cash balance plan at Teachers Retirement System of Kentucky rather than a traditional pension, but it would not reduce the annual 1.5% cost of living adjustments for retired teachers, which was a controversial part of Senate Bill 1. Retired teachers in Kentucky do not get Social Security benefits, so any freeze in their pensions affects their total retirement income. And retirement eligibility for future teachers would increase to age 65 with 5 years of service, or the rule of 87, when the employee's combined age and years of service equal 87.
Stupid that is.
The invaluable contract that protects, why is it so far away? That protects reduction in future employee benefits will be limited to account balances in the cash balance plan. Cash balance plans are less generous than a traditional defined benefits pension, but offer more retirement security than a 401k style defined contribution account. So, so that's, I remember my wife's cousin, who's also was a teacher. I don't think she's down to ride this boat out by the end of after this school year. I mean,
okay, it makes sense.
She was
retiring.
She was livid. She was livid about that, but yeah.
So
and for them to pass it on, like it got, from what I'm understanding, like it originally was called Bill 1, that got rejected, and then they reworked it, and like damn near 15. They as soon as the House approved it, they passed it over to Bevin right quick in a hurry to approve or veto it without the public's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was on a sewage bill.
Oh, well, that's even shadier.
That's what it was, on a sewage bill.
I thought that was just being figurative speech.
No. It was actual sewage bill that this noun is on a sewage bill. Like for real. Would you normally think you're gonna talk about education on a sewage bill? Like, no. Those two things don't go go hand in hand.
Unless you failed your education and got to work sewage, but I mean, no knock against sewage people to begin with. I'm not trying to.
Education is the sewage,
Yeah, I ain't trying to job shame or nothing. Yeah, that's.
Oh no, because people who work in sewage, trash people, those people are essential, and hell, they get paid, for real.
Yeah, not so much teachers though.
So yeah.
So yeah, in a sense, so is education even worth it then?
Education is always worth it.
By that comparison, if sewage is sewage over teaching, so
you need to know things about life and how things are supposed to work on paper.
Shit goes in bin A, paper goes in bin B. So there's all the education you need right there.
Hey, but you gotta go through them years, man. You gotta put in them 13 years, man, to make sure you got it. What's a rectangle? What's a circle? What's a bin? What's a isosceles? What's a parallelogram? You know what I'm saying? You need to know these things,
Do you really? A parallelogram?
I'm part trolling. I have to say that sewage, not sewage, dang it.
I love that word, but there is no fucking reason that I need to know a parallelogram. I used to love saying it and writing it down when I was in school, but ain't no fucking reason you need to know a parallelogram right now. Well, unless you architecture or whatever the fuck it's required, but But once again, not trying to job shame architects. So
stop job shaming, sir. Stop it. Stop it. I gotta keep balancing out. You job shame. I gotta big them up. So shouts out to the architects.
Yeah, somebody gotta be controversial today. Yeah.
You all keep working on that bridge over there, because that rinky-dink mug, I don't want to be walking on that mug and it fall in. So y'all keep doing your job, all right? Y'all do better.
Oh, you talking about outside Louisville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crossing into what do they call it? The elephant graveyard that is Indiana.
Ouch. Oh. Well, now you state shaming.
Hey man. Hey.
Oh, but that's justified. All right then.
He's a VP. The best thing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do the best things that came out of Indiana, because they got some legit stuff. They got Michael Jackson.
I was about to say, yeah, Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, I was like, they got some legit stuff. So I'm not even gonna go that route. I mean, we still poop on Indiana from Kentucky, but that's here nor there. But since we're already talking about
education,
like Matt Bevin and people getting over on people or people not getting paid. We got this fair coat wearing, mink stealing, rings wearing, Ric Flair
wheeling and dealing. Nah, come on, man.
All at Tyrone Hankerson Jr.
All right, let me pull that information up for him.
While you pull that up, I'll just throw a few tidbits. If you all haven't heard, and Webb's gonna cover more details. I didn't pull up the article.
Well, I got it right here if you need. Okay.
Can we call him Howard's best? The best thing out of Howard? Can we claim that for right now? No, I don't want to get that heat. I got a cousin that just graduated. They graduated from Howard. So
all right, so let's look at this. Let's look at this HBCU bandit.
Yo,
I was trying to think of what's a thief word. Oh, the Howard Highwayman. There we go.
Yes, Howard.
I was like, what's a thief word that starts with H?
Yo, that's perfect. Howard Highwayman. Making all these doubloons, man. He had the perfect get, the perfect set, man. Can you talk about it, Webb?
Okay, I'm looking at it now. I'm trying to get past.
Become a household name.
I'm trying to get past this the irony is that the article I'm reading this off of is Essence magazine, and I cannot get past this damn picture of him in this, or one of his Instagram pictures where he's jumping in the loafers and and just kind of going oh, this must be an ad for Essence. No, that's the person in trouble.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you keep working on that, but Tyrone basically in a nutshell.
Yeah. The infamous student caught up in the financial aid embezzlement scandal at Howard University is claiming his innocence. Hankerson was accused of misappropriating $429,000 from funds earmarked for financial aid at Howard University.
Yes.
He worked at the financial aid office as an undergraduate student at Howard. He also became a viral sensation this week after his Instagram showcased his affinity for designer clothing and taste for expensive items, a fact many found funny given the accusations aimed at him. And, I mean, it's not doing it any justice to listen to this episode, but if you get a chance, just look at any and all memes that got to do with Tyrone Hankerson, and you can, I swear, it's like a GQ audition or like hell, like I just said, I thought it was an ad for Essence for a split second because I was like, I just pulled this article up. How did I forget?
So when I heard about this, I was instantly like, somebody had the glitch to the system. They had the glitch code to the system. I was rooting.
This man was in the Matrix. Yeah, he figured the Matrix. He figured out the lines and code and all that.
Yeah, like you did this. And the crazy part is, I once thought like, if you're in financial aid, why don't you just pocket some of the money? Like, because technically, everybody tells you, like, you're going to get what you get, right? You don't have any control over that. Like, you basically get an email or you pop up, check your stuff, and it's like, hey, you've been rewarded, blah, blah amount. But who's really putting that amount in there for you? And if they have control in that, if somebody's really putting it in there, that means they can pinch a little here, pinch a little there, take the whole thing in their name. It doesn't even have to go to you. So I actually thought about that once before, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't in any position to make those type of money moves.
But best believe.
And to hear somebody like pull it off, I was like, yes, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I don't think that's the take we supposed to be. All right, sure.
You can judge it however you want. I don't care. You can judge me. I don't care.
That wasn't the take I expected. Anyway. It was not the that wasn't the take I expected from you. And like the thing is, well, here's what I'll say though. Like just to play advocate with you, I'm pretty sure that he's not the only person that does this shit when it comes to as far as working the financial aid office. I can guarantee, I can't guarantee it because I'm not looking at people's file. I'm not an auditor or nothing like that. But I'm pretty sure that every university got this problem. But they
in their history, probably yes.
Probably right now.
History, something like this happened.
Probably right now. But then they're probably pissed that he's fucking it up for the rest of them. Because I'm pretty sure that they were being smarter about it and just, little by little here, continue to look like they're like, oh, hey, look, ramen again this week. And, just being smarter about how they're sitting there pocketing the money. But no, here he is in like Gucci and and like some shit I can't pronounce or don't even bother to look at the hashtags to see what type of brand it is. And so here he is, $429,000. And this man he was on his last year before he graduated, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just had to shut up. Like, he could have bought, like, one nice thing, but this man was coming out with Prada Gucci bags, doing photo shoots for Instagram. If you don't take your iPhone X,
and his
iPhone 6, Samsung Galaxy 4, picture taking self somewhere and go sit down and shut up. Like, that's what made me mad.
Dude probably hired a photographer to sit there and put a post for him on Instagram. And even funnier, his Facebook post, another semester down, another bag secured. He posted that on December.
He was getting y'all bags.
Hashtag moving right along.
Bags. He was over writing it and getting the grants in his name, like putting them in his name and stuff. Like, ingenious. Ingenious. But I was disappointed in the execution after he got the stupid money.
Yeah, really? like the Migos said, you get the bag and fumble it. Can you? No, we sit there and we sit there and was talking over each other. My bad. I was like, the Migos pretty much just said, you get the bag and fumble it. And it's like, that's exactly what this man did right here.
Bing. Bing.
It's ridiculous.
So, Tyrone, thank you for making America great. Again.
You took it there.
It's full trolling. No, thank you for making America great again. You can get a red hat too. Go sit the hell down somewhere.
Man, the amount of stunting he was doing was just straight up explicit.
Unnecessary. Like,
it's just...
like, I told people straight up, if I ever come into like real money, like money,
Yeah.
yo,
Oh.
same shirt.
Kid Swift.
Like you ain't gonna see nothing change on me.
Since
I'm like, oh, did he get a new shoe? Nope. Is he still wearing
just
the
one
same,
shoe
button downs from 2 years ago? Yep. Not changing nothing. Now everything else in my life is gonna change, but you're not gonna see it.
Yeah. The man was living his life like he was golden. Kid Swift, he's not here, but I'm pretty sure he would have brought up the Chappelle Show skit where it was like, it was an MTV Cribs, where he said, just come on in, you broke motherfuckers, in his dorm.
Yeah. Check me out.
So they bought a whole floor.
So I was proud and saddened all at the same time. So
I don't know what else.
Anybody else doing it out there, do it better. All right. And if he messed it up for everybody, well.
American Gangster. With his Frank Lucas's cousin. Was it his cousin or his brother? Yeah, it was his brother. Yeah, we're sitting there going, he's getting mad about him getting that damn coat. He's like, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. And Tyrone was barking. Yeah, Tyrone was barking.
He was over opera singing. Like, this man's got a picture of him jumping in the wind with a yellow canary something on. And then the very next picture with his Michael Jackson slip-ons, maybe those are, and then he's got his, like, what would normally be his great aunt's fur coat. But no, he was like, you know what, auntie? I want one just like that. So, and for anybody to think, like, I've had a fur coat before, so don't come at me like that. Like, but
how many squirrels must die for you to look fly, Brent?
Huh?
How many squirrels must die for you to look fly?
All the squirrels. All of them. I don't like squirrels. We already went through this. I hate squirrels.
Okay, I didn't mean to trigger you. I said I didn't mean to trigger you, so we'll be moving along on that one.
Right.
So as I said, I'm sure is it on a
crawling up me?
Okay.
Like, literally crawling up me.
Did you post? Is it on a previous episode?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be on there. If nothing else, I'll tell you another day.
All right, then. Gotcha. So yeah, with the exception of explicit stunting, let's go into explicit lyrics. Specifically, I pose this question to the OAF crew. Only two of us are able to answer this question right now. What's up?
Wait. Can we? Because we can end on this one. Can we do one more?
Sure.
We do this?
What you got?
This would be great to end on.
All right.
Real quick, before we get into explicitness, because when I read this article, I was like, I had to say some explicit stuff. All right, because I was like, all right. So, in Atlanta, we're gonna say last week, maybe at this point it could be 2 weeks ago, within the last month. Basically, I don't think it's a new thing, but it's called mal ransom. So it's like malware that infects your system like a virus, but it holds your stuff for ransom, right?
Stuff like information? Like stuff like, when you say stuff, you talking about information like socials, like and
information,
credit card numbers,
your data, your files. So
your nudes that apparently your grandma had access to.
Your nudes that grandma might have had access to. Stuff like that. So it was I don't think they gave a name for the hackers. But,
Dead sick.
I would have to check it out. I'll keep explaining as I look that up again. But basically, a hacker group basically attacked the government, the city government of Atlanta, right? And they hit their servers and basically told them, like, hey, you all have 3 days to send us at this location, let's say 53 bitcoins, which was the equivalent of like
5,300, 53,000.
Tyrone Hankerson got away with.
So like 530. Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know the Bitcoin conversion rate, so excuse me.
When I last looked, it was almost like 3.2, like 300. 320,000, something like that, was the Bitcoin exchange when I last looked a couple days ago.
320,000 for one Bitcoin.
No, for like 53 Bitcoins altogether.
Oh, okay.
Like for the total of all the Bitcoins that they were asking for.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right? So now the issue was Atlanta wasn't going to pay. So what these hackers do, if you don't pay, they just like destroy your files, or they just keep them. They don't give you access back to them, so that you can't get them. And they were saying they were going to erase all the things that were on the server. Right? So that puts the government in a situation. The government doesn't coordinate with terrorists. Like, they don't do stuff like
or they're not supposed to, yeah. Unless they
don't work with terrorism.
Unless they work for them.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. But also, you now have, they never expose, like, was it criminal records? Was it bank files, your social securities, pensions? Like, what was on file was never said in the article I read.
Mm-hmm.
So, had you heard this, first off, and does this sound crazy to you?
No, this is actually your first time this is my first time hearing this after you telling me. And honestly, I just thought this was straight out of a Watch Dogs game. That's why I sit there and when you said you didn't know the name of the group, I said DeadSec. So. Oh,
that's what you said. I was thinking anonymous in my head, but I was like, nope, that's not right either.
Yeah.
So.
This.
No, it's real, and it's apparently like over the last some years, this has become more prevalent. They use, and I know what people were thinking, like, if you're listening to this, you're like, but why did they choose Bitcoins? That seems kind of silly, right? Bitcoins are kind of untraceable. I mean, they are traceable, but it's
very difficult.
It's like finding one needle in like a mile of haystacks,
or one needle in a pile of needles. So,
bingo, that you're looking for, yeah. And trying not to get cut. So, that was a thing. Now, I propose to you a question.
All right.
Because I've heard this before. We actually did a whole, I went to a meeting that was basically on this. It had like an FBI person come in and was talking about this in like corporations, like, hey, the FBI in a sense can't help you, but they can help you. Like, they can try to help track down like who did it, give us more information, this and that, see if it's a pattern, a known pattern, if it's a person they already are looking into. But at the end of the day, as a civilian, you have to make the decision to if you're going to pay the fee or not.
Right.
Because if you say no, you're not getting your stuff. Like, this ain't one of those like, oh, you waited 3 days, they just magically gave it back. No, like, you're not going to get your stuff.
Give me back my son. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off, man.
No. I was pulling it up because I wanted to find out what the hacker group was called in Atlanta, but it doesn't matter. But I ask you this then: if anything could be erased, like let's say this happened.
Well, now I'm stuck on trying to figure out this name. Like, what name could they have, or what could a hacker group in Atlanta be called? I'm trying to think of. Atlanta. I was trying to do something with Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Hacks, but no, that's. What's a better one? AOL? No, that's trash. Help me out. Shit. What's a name you would... Okay, well, fuck it. We'll just leave it to the audience. What's a good hacker name? Yeah, basically, if you were to sit there and have like an NBA or NFL version of hackers, what would you have for the city of Atlanta or the state of Georgia?
Samsung.
What would you have... Oh, they're called... Oh, boo. AOL was better. Fuck that.
Oh, no, sorry. That's what the ransomware does. It's called Samsung. The actual group, yeah, still Webb. What he's talking about, think of your best hacker name, submit it to us.
Yeah. Not just for Atlanta, Georgia, or the state of Georgia, but wherever you're from. Sit there and think of a good team, a good mascot for your location, for your group of hackers. Let us know what you think in the comments on that. Oh, yeah. Shoot. You got anything else to add on that?
So we'll wrap this up really quick. So if you could have, for your benefit, they erased something, what would you have erased? Like, what information would you have erased? And I'm talking, you can use your imagination. Think erase anything that could benefit you. What would you have erased?
Other than debt, probably some nudes that I didn't know I had floating around.
I mean, you was out there wilding, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shh.
You haven't told everybody about your chip in the Dale days, have you? Oh.
Chip in the Dale. What is a chip in the Dale? Chip in the is that like farmer in the Dale? No, you better cut that out for they believe you for real.
Joking.
What about you then, man? Other than financial aid
I didn't
and
work at
nudes.
Chippendales.
No. What would you have erased, sir?
Okay. Whew. I would probably do debt. No, I would do student loans. Definitely. Shit.
Well, that counts, don't it? That's one and the same, right?
No, not just student loans. Debt. Because I want that car payment, house payment, and school payment all done. If I owed anybody in collection, that covered too. The other thing would be, I would probably go for, I feel like people would pick like criminal records, but I don't really have a criminal record, so.
A friend of yours, criminal records. There you go. Just Merry Christmas. There you go.
Merry Christmas. Criminal records. Wait.
Now you can get that job at the Shake Shack or some shit.
Like, I don't know, because that could cause more problems. Like, we got some people out here that was really putting up with bodies.
Oh, well,
really
they ain't.
doing
Are they?
some real bad things. Like, I feel like they still need to have their label. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you're getting your friend's criminal record removed and they were really wilding, should that still be your friend?
I mean, in some ways, you got to keep your enemies close than your friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want my head in somebody's freezer. Yeah.
But they're on your side, and that's what really matters to you.
Yeah. As long as my head is not in his freezer, I'm good.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're in a piranha tank. I'm trying to think. What else would I do? I don't know. That's what I got right now. Like that would be that, or everybody erases like education and then just gives everybody like a master's or PhD.
So then they can be top tier sewage workers. Yeah.
Like, just put everybody on the same level. Like, whoa, everybody's super qualified. Now what? Let's do this. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for that way. But wrapping this all up, we have the conversation which you were alluding to before I cut you off, and that was my bad. No.
Well, the more time we can sit there and filibuster on here, then wow, look at that, hour 7 minutes.
Yeah, we in there, man. Like, so you were asking earlier, what are the songs that you can think of that the clean version is better than the explicit version?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, a few of these, I'm kind of biased due to childhood nostalgia sake.
Okay.
For example, Trillville, Some Cut came to mind. Where I like the clean version, and I ain't gotta sit there. Yeah, it's like, well, with the exception of What It Is, Ho. I love that part.
What's up?
And then, instead of can a player just keep in touch, it's like, can a nigga get in them guts? And I was just like, I was singing the uncensored version, and like my wife, I don't know how she went about her life not knowing this version. She was like, what the hell are you talking about? Or
what?
I don't know, man. She's country, so that might have a role in that. But she didn't know what the fuck I was talking. I was like, what are you doing? And she probably thought I was trying to talk nasty to her.
I got a song. You trying to talk nasty to her?
That's my foreplay.
Oh man, like, hey,
that beat, man.
For everybody that just almost started twerking out there, you're the real MVP. All the women out there that just started twerking. I mean, I guess if guys are giving out
don't sex shame. Come on now.
Still be the real MVP as well.
It's like we
Like,
job shaming,
so,
state shaming, don't sex shame down there too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to.
Sex positive.
You
Sex
started
positive.
to them bed squeaks.
Do,
You're the real MVP. Now,
it's
one
gonna be stuck in
song
my
that
head now.
the clean version I like more than the dirty version, the explicit version, was From the Window to the Wall.
Oh, okay, Yin Yang Twins. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Get
one,
low.
I was that Yin Yang?
Yeah.
That was Yin Yang with Lil Jon.
Yin Yang and Lil Jon. Yeah. Oh,
that
speaking
one.
of, go ahead.
Like that one, I really enjoyed because when I heard the explicit, I was like, no, give me the clean version, man. That one goes. Like I just remember that being wholeheartedly like, I only want to hear that clean version. I only want to hear the explicit.
And it was funny well, now that you mentioned that about that, it's like for a while, Skeet used to still be in the clean version too, until people realized thanks to damn Chappelle Show, Pioneer. Thanks to them, that's when the radio started, or the top 40 stations started censoring it, and I got pissed. Yeah. I got pissed. Speaking of Yin Yang Twins, Wait, the Whisper song. Yeah, that was one where the clean version was better than the explicit, just for the fact that, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, that song got me so many lap dances in the club, and I was so obnoxious. I was really whispering in chicks' ear.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And then when they came out with the remixes, we had
the chicks, the chick, the chick. I almost can't stand those gender equality remixes they do, where it's like a song, or say for example, it's a guy sitting there saying some shit about a chick, and then like the remix where a chick says something about the dude in the exact same way, but she gets the last laugh because she has the remix, or the other way around, where it's a chick talking bad about a dude, and then another dude sit there and shows up for like a remix or a cover, and he gets the last laugh because he's on the remix. And I was just like, yeah, just cut that shit out, just let it be. But speaking of Yin Yang Twins, you remember that copy of the Whisper song by David Banner, Play?
Yes.
Okay, that was a shameless ripoff, damn near. I couldn't stand the uncensored version of that. When nobody trying to hear this, like, I wasn't really trying to hear that. And speaking of David Banner, you remember Touchin' with Jazzy Faye? Damn, whatever happened to Jazzy Faye?
He went back. He just did.
Yeah, he's just he's behind the scenes, I guess. But yeah. I looked up his net worth some time ago, and like he's eating clearly. I mean, well, clearly, but yeah. But Touchin', where it used to, like the uncensored version, it's straight up just called Fucking, and it's just like, that ain't this. Yeah, it ain't got that ring to it.
Got you.
Speaking of fucking the chorus.
Okay.
Wait, no, not fucking the chorus. Fuck in the chorus. Akon's I Wanna Love You. I like that version better than I Wanna Fuck You.
Love you.
Another song with fuck in the chorus. Chris Brown's Back to Sleep. Have you heard the uncensored version of that?
No, I can't think of that. That one's not popping up in my head.
Okay, I'll splice it in there. I can't help. It's like it goes from being like with the censored version. It's like this smooth, almost 80s or almost sexual healing style type of song. But then with the uncensored version, when you hear it, you can't help but to laugh at it just from how it's just how rude. This shit is rude on the chorus.
I'll check it out.
All right.
Is it as rude as like I'm gonna get my chief on as you?
You'll see.
Like
You'll
that?
see. Don't worry. You'll see. You will see. I got you.
Is it like give me head till I'm dead? Like is it like that?
You'll see. You'll see. Don't worry. I got you. I got you.
All right.
Another one. This is probably my second to last one. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, this will be my last one. I was gonna honorable mention probably DMX Is What They Want with Drew Hill or with Cisco. I was gonna put that on there where I was like, nah, I like the clean version better, but at the same time, I love the song. Period. I could rock with either one.
I'll rock with the clean version on that one.
Okay, fair enough. Honorable mention. The last one I'm gonna include was Sexual Eruption by Snoop.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Hey, but that one goes like how you was talking about the DMX. That that one's Snoop for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it sounds better like the censored version where it's like, this. Well, it depends because it's weird. There's two different clean versions. One where he says sexual seduction, and the other one's like sensual seduction. It's very subtle, and like honestly, I might just be imagining the second version. It's probably just one version, and I'm just putting it in my mind. It's like, oh, it's the clean version, so clearly he's trying to, yeah. Sexual eruption just sounds like just, it's okay, but you know, sexual seduction, you can sit there and just kind of, yeah, barbecue or at the cookout. Yeah, a lot of these songs, they sound so much better at the cookout with your kids and they're going like, hey, what y'all youngers know about this? It's like, what it is, oh, what's, oh, wait. No, hey, 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 tell your uncle to switch the track. Don't play that version. Nuh-uh. That's for when y'all leave. That's when the kids leave. Go play they VRs or whatever it is y'all play nowadays.
I'm trying to think what is because that's tough because
yeah,
it's like most of the time most of my music is not edited.
Right.
So there are a few songs I'm like, yo, having an edited version is tough. Like it's nice.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to think of R&B. Like I'm trying to think of an R&B song, but most of them is just like one take. Like there's not too many. Like I can think of off the top of my head. It's like you got the explicit R&B and you got the clean. I think more. We might have to come back to this. We might have to do a part 2.
Yeah, we probably gonna have to because we need to get everybody else's opinion on it.
Yeah, Shayna, Gary, what's your thoughts on this?
Also, audience of OAF discussions. What are your favorite? Oh, well then you go ahead then. Fire away.
You got it, sir.
Okay.
You got it. I got the next person after that. So.
With that said, man, will this be the end of episode 91 of OAF Discussions, sir? Or do you have something else to add?
I need some feedback, man. Like I ain't heard feedback from nobody out there. Like I'm talking the chat on Twitter. I'm gonna need some feedback from y'all. I seen y'all out there. Y'all's, I seen some 5-star reviews. Shouts out to everybody that left a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you can submit a review at. Tell a friend. Like if you listening to this, tell a friend and put them up on game of what brought you some happiness for a day. Like, you know what? Tell 3 friends. You know what I'm saying? Tell 3 friends. Send it to them. Tell them you're welcome. All right? BTG, where you at? Where you at? Where's the feedback, man? I know you out there. Teddy D, you're ducking. You're ducking, sir. Just do better. But for everybody, so shouts out to all the new listeners. I know we had some new listeners. Have been listening. I got to check the little I can't remember what was the number of listeners we got, but we got new listeners. So shouts out to everybody that's tuning in, listening to us. Hope you loving what we're doing, the conversation. Feel free to hit myself up on Twitter at LLCoolB22. That's Twitter. You can Snapchat me your question if you want to. I'm gonna work with everybody. We're gonna try to get a phone line so that way we can have that as well. But some things are in motion. We got some things up the sleeve. Webb, if they wanted to hit you up, if you want them to hit you up, where will they find you at?
At Webb859 on Twitter, Webb.859 on Instagram, and I would like to add to reach out to us at OAF Discussions. By all means, reach us at OAF Discussions on Twitter, at OAF Discussions on Instagram, OAFDiscussions at gmail.com. If you, any point blank period, we want some more communication. We want some more feedback on these episodes. By all means, leave a review on iTunes, Spotify. You can't leave a review on Spotify. We're now on Spotify, so pay attention to that. Google Play, Podbean, wherever podcasts are able to watch, or wherever you're able to check out podcasts. As a matter of fact,
on our website, right?
Yes, OafDiscussions.com. Getting to that. By all means, as a matter of fact, for the next people that are commenting or leaving a review or leaving any kind of feedback, we'll shout you out on the next episode, and we'll sit there and either give a rebuttal or give praise to whatever it is you got to say. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 91 of OAF Discussions. Thank you for your time. Peace.
meet again.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been OAF Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. OAF Discussions pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.